Hello and welcome to a colour recording for people born in the month of June to see how April will develop for you. I'm Dr. Karen and this is Karen's Colours. For this month, I've decided on an oracle card that isn't really something that one would call an oracle. They predate the fashion for oracles. And in fact, they're blank on one side. They're actually wisdom from the elders, and I've long lost the package that came from this, but I've had this set of cards for decades. And they have some really interesting bits of wisdom for people. So I hope you enjoy those along with your colour reading. So let's get into it. Let's now choose some colours for people born in June. So what do we have here? We have pink on pink, followed by black on cyan, followed by green on red, and our underlying energy is white on blue. All right, June babies, you're coming into the month of April feeling entirely washed out. You're exhausted. You've tried everything. March has been an incredibly difficult and busy month for you. Everything you've tried has either failed or you've needed somebody else to help you along the way, because you certainly haven't had it easy. What's more, when we have pink both in the top and the bottom of a colour circle, it often means that you haven't been feeling particularly well. Pink on pink often denotes some form of illness. And if that's the case for you, it hasn't been easy treading through March. So what happens now in April? Well, as we come into, switch it over so you can see the colours more clearly. As we come into the middle of April, you're finding yourself cyan internally, feeling fairly friendless, isolated, alone, uncomfortable, because you are not able to connect with others. There is a need for connection. Cyan internally always says, I need supporters, I need help, I need friends, I need acquaintances, I need to connect with others. But in the real world, just about every avenue that you are looking towards is in danger of being closed off. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you are not able easily to spend time looking at your own activities, at the things that you have done previously, the things that led up to this illness situation. You haven't had time or taken the time to look at those things carefully enough in order to create the sorts of connections that you need to enable you to move forward. Black in the real world often denotes some form of closing down. Your life is no longer as comfortable as it was, and you now feel that you're heading towards the future in a state of isolation. And where does that future take you? Well, here we have green on red. Red internally is a massive, catastrophic, but also a potentially dangerous situation. Red inside is frustration. It's immense surges of energy that have got nowhere to go. You feel as though you want to keep moving, you want to keep doing things, but in the real world, while there are many, many opportunities, the green is also asking you to let go of the past in order to move forward. Are you able to do that? The green and red are pretty well opposites on the color wheel. They're not the ideal opposites, but they certainly are fairly close. And so you're swinging between I want and I can't have. I have to let go, but I want to grab. There is this swinging backwards and forwards between what you have and what you could have. And how do you make an assessment as to which is going to be of greater benefit to you? Underlying all of this is the combination that has to do with sacrifice of yourself. Blue internally means that things are in a state of disorganization. You need to find how to reorganize yourself. You need to find a perspective that enables you to do the right thing for yourself and for others. Blue internally is about needing duty, responsibilities that need to be addressed. And in the real world, what's happening is pretty well nothing. You are throwing away all the different opportunities that are there for you because you're not looking at them in a perspective that enables you to see clearly what has to be done. But that underlying energy, as it permeates throughout the month, from the beginning of the month when you're feeling helpless, if you use this correctly, if you allow yourself that different perspective to see things from a way that allows you to clearly determine what things need to be done and then going ahead and doing those, then that vulnerability becomes less important. Similarly, this closing down of your happiness, of your ability to feel at ease and comfortable with yourself also has connotations with the underlying energy. In fact, they're pretty close to being opposites. The black and white in the real world are throwing you between what is and what could be. The cyan is very, very closely related to the blue. And what we have here is the need for understanding, and here we have the need for connection. They're very, very closely related. How do you make the best of those when you're being swung from one extreme to the other? Putting it towards the future, of course, what we have here is a really potentially lovely combination. Green and white allows for transformation. Red and blue allows for control of your existence. So, what missing colors can we use to help you along the way? Well, for a start, you have black, you have white, you have red, there's no yellow, but you do have green, you have blue, there's no brown, or orange, or grey, or purple, but you do have pink, and you have cyan. So these colors here, the black, white, red, green, blue, pink, and cyan, are all skills that are readily available to you to use throughout the month of April. And if you use them wisely enough, they are more than adequate to dealing with overcoming the vulnerability at the beginning of the month and leading yourself towards a new life as a result of you dealing with the frustrations that occur because you haven't always gotten your own way. What we don't have available immediately are yellow, brown, let's try again, orange, grey, and purple. Now, these 5 colours offer you an opportunity to do something different. Yellow is about learning. It's about memory. It's about remembering what it is that you have done in the past and what sorts of results you got and how to make things more acceptable to you so that you can actually feel happy. Yellow is the color of happiness. Brown is also a color of learning, but this time it's the learning of practical skills. It's about setting goals. Exactly what do you want and how do you go about obtaining that in a step-by-step, logical and sequential way that enables you to go from one place to another with the least amount of discomfort. Orange is about your ability to be courageous and confident in a particular situation. But it also warns against crisis. If you don't show the sort of confidence that's necessary to overcome a drama, then the drama can overcome you. So it's one to be taken cautiously. Grey has to do with finding a middle road, a middle path. It's often associated with confusion and uncertainty. And that means that you are looking towards finding how to tread between extremes in decisions that you've made or circumstances that you are faced with that require you to make decisions. And finally, purple. Purple is partially about having fun, but it's also about making major catastrophic changes. How do you overcome the sorts of dramas that you create within your life by getting rid of what no longer serves and then moving towards something new, building something new? So that's what these 5 colors represent. Which of those are you going to use or incorporate into your life to enable you to make the most of the opportunity here to overcome the frustration and to develop a new type of life? Now, let's have a look at the wisdom of the, not going to shuffle very well today, the wisdom of the elders. Let's have a look. I'll take this one. About, and what does it say? It says, act as if what you do makes a difference. It's easy enough to do. Act as if what you do makes a difference, because everything that we do does tend to influence not only our own behavior, but also the behavior of those around us. So what sort of difference do you actually want to make? And how are you going to act in order to achieve that? Now, March has been an extremely difficult month for everyone across the world. There are things that have happened that are entirely out of our control. And as a result, all of our hopes and dreams are up in the air. I hope that this April reading for you has brought you some justification for the choices that you've made and for the direction in which you're planning to go. Certainly, if you remember to use the 2 colors, the one that is most appealing and the one that is least appealing from that list of colors that is missing from your life at present, that you find your way towards something that will give you not only relief, but also comfort as you move towards May. May April be a lot calmer, a lot better for you than March certainly turned out to be. And may the colours of your life bring you all that is necessary for your own higher good. Until next time, bye.